I'm really doing good. I'm excited about some things, and I'm a little disappointed in others. And the excitement comes from some baseball arms that I've seen, and my disappointment comes from some wildlife. My daughter ended up, as we can get into this later, hit another deer.
Oh no.
Yes.
So did you harvest the deer?
No, but I went back there.
We talked about this like 2 weeks ago.
It was the perfect setup.
Yeah.
It was the perfect setup for that to happen.
It was, and I went back there, and it happened right. Gosh, if you can see this, it's 67. It's right between Oconomowoc Lake and it's right between the lakes, right? And
okay.
It came out, and I find the plastic from the grill and there the fender, and it's all there. And I look, and there's this deer, and sure enough, just as I had seen, I've never seen it before. This one had been taken, took the tarp right off of him, and cut out the back straps.
No way.
Yep.
So you
and
thought, well, there's no reason
we
to go back for it then. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that.
Yep, no tenderloin. Tenderloins are still intact. Obviously, they didn't field dress it there, but quick, just put a little slit. I looked at a little slit behind the neck, just yanked it down and ripped it. Started it on both sides. So if you can picture this, cut the top, peel it a little bit, cut a side on each side of the neck, just came straight down about a 7-8 inch path all the way down, and back straps were cut out.
So now here's my thing in this. And again, I'm a Dateline guy, right? Like next on Dateline, conspiracy involving deer along the road. I wonder if there isn't someone out there with a scanner.
Yep.
And they're hearing that there was an accident, car versus deer, blah, blah, blah. They know the area. They know exactly where it happened. And they wait for it to die down. And everybody moves out. And they know that the deer is still going to be there.
Right.
Because they probably said on the call that, there's a deer here and carcass.
Pest control coming.
Yeah, something like
whatever.
that. We've moved it off to the side of the road, that kind of thing. And someone swoops in. I find it hard to believe, Wags, that someone just stumbles on it and goes, hey, let's grab some straps tonight.
Oh, yeah, I got my buck knife with me.
Yeah, exactly. And it was off the road. It was on the edge of the woods. So I'm going to say your theory is probably 100% right. They find the location. They see some car parts broken down. They know which way it went, whatever they heard going towards lake, east to west.
Man.
And yes, because it wasn't sitting on the side of the road.
And again, we're rehashing this, and now it's become full circle because, unfortunately, it's involved someone on the show. First of all, is your daughter okay?
Yeah, both girls were in the car. They're both fine, so I'm okay with that.
Right.
Now I look to the next thing, and then the insurance company totals out the vehicle. And of course, my replacement value is, you know what? My daughter's driving a 2015 Ford Escape. It's going to cost me an arm and a leg plus a couple toes to get her into a new vehicle.
No, Wags, we know a guy. We know a guy. We know a guy. We can help you out in that regard. The reason I bring it up is because when we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, the question was, would you take the whole deer or would you just do like this person did? Around the room again, just to rehash this, do you have a problem with what this person's did? We'll start with you, Wags.
No, not really. If I can see something, the girls were not saying in shock, but I don't know if they don't even remember if do we look for the deer? Like it wasn't laying right there. No problem. If somebody can use that rather than seeing rotten, for a better term, I don't like to see rotten carcasses on the side of the road or crows or vultures. If somebody can eat it, somebody can use it. Yes, I'm fine with it. Whether they had a tag issued by the sheriff's department or the police department or not, I'm okay with that because somebody at least ate it. There was something used.
Hey, Wags, you'll have to, I know you've got some inside tracks to some people that work for Oconomowoc. You'll have to ask them if they have a policy on roadkill. I would just be curious about that, maybe just selfishly being in Oconomowoc. But, our buddy Patty, who works for Muskego or wherever he is, they pick up anything that is roadkill because they don't want it to sit out there. I wonder, and I would assume that varies from municipality to municipality of what they do with it or what their policy is or whatever. But I say that because I'm totally on board with that. I can't tell you how many times I've seen like what looks like maybe just a hind quarter left. I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of sad. It's like I wish that would have gone to something, or they would just clean it up and get it off the roads. I don't. I thought there was something with that, but you can see from along the freeways that it doesn't seem like there's much of a pickup process out there, because it seems like there's deer that sit out there and then all of a sudden the snow melts and you see another deer that's like concave and in the middle of a ditch somewhere.
Right.
You know what? I've always joked about the fact that one of those reality programs could be this guy.
Yeah.
That's on call.
Right.
And, the sheriff's department calls him and says, hey, Frank, we got one out here. And he goes out and picks it up. And then, they drop it off to a food shelter or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, even if it's not a reality show, why couldn't someone do that?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Do you think it's a do you think it's a CWD thing?
Maybe.
Worried about that?
I don't think it's.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's kind of like my.
But I do know. But real quick, I do know that they do put out bids. So Washington County, I'm in Dodge, Waukesha, going into Oconomowoc. So I'm really in Waukesha County, or into Waukesha County there. But I do know that at one time it was actually a bid, a submittal. And I don't know how it moves, whether it's Dane County, Milwaukee County, Waukesha, whatever county decides to do it. But yeah, there was actually bids submitted to be the benefactor of carcass removal.
Interesting. That's something that I'd never heard. I'm glad that there is something like that, though.
By the way, I don't know. I'm going to segue into this. I saw this week, since we're talking about deer and deer kill.
Yeah.
The DNR reported on the 2024 deer hunting season, showing that the overall harvest was up. How much you want to guess, percentage-wise, over 2023?
3.9%.
Over 2023?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, I think you're pretty close. I'm going to go 5%.
7%.
Okay.
A DNR deer program specialist said that season highlights include the increased harvest, the safest hunt in the last 40 years. License sales increased slightly. There was a decreased turnaround time to report results of CWE sampling hunters. And they say the uptick from 3% to 7% was led by crossbow and archery hunters leading the uptick.
Yeah.
So more people are getting into the woods doing the bow thing early, which led to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, I think that's just really been the trend, is that people have been, well, first and foremost, more people have been taking advantage of crossbow licenses. They're more accurate for people. There's less time that you need to prepare for it. And they think, well, the rut is the first week of November. Why am I going to wait until the third week of November when all the bow hunters are out there? I can just go get a crossbow and I can do the same thing. I think that's what we're seeing on on a very general note of what's happening with our deer hunting season now.
Well, both of you guys are bow guys.
Yeah.
So you tell me, I mean, are you seeing an uptick in people that are participating in bow and maybe backing down from the gun side of things? Or, I mean, I'm just curious.
Sorry,
go on.
I was just going to say, for me, I haven't noticed a significant downturn in for me, it's two things. How many people are at the bars on Friday and Saturday night for fish fry and prime rib on opening weekend of gun season? And the second thing would be, how many cars do we hear driving out on the roads where we are of traffic going back and forth to different spots out there?
Right.
I don't think either one of them have decreased. And that's just specifically for the gun season.
See, now I'm gonna disagree. I think that, no, I shouldn't say that, because Friday and Saturday, I would agree with you, Task. They're there. Yeah. I just think deer hunting season has become a weekend thing. Maybe a Friday. Let's just do the Friday, Saturday. I don't believe the harvest is as important as it used to be. Mm-hmm. I don't believe families. I don't believe the brotherhood stays out there for 10 days. So many people that I know. Matter of fact, besides you and maybe a handful of others, the full week, everybody comes home and works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that I know.
Yeah.
Everybody goes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They get up there Friday, they hunt Saturday and Sunday, they come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, do Thanksgiving with their family, whichever loved one has to go somewhere. And then if they have time, they will go out for that following weekend. I just think it's not a full-blown vacation anymore where Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they don't waste work days.
Well, yeah. And I think the thing, too, is that there's so much demands on our time. And those that aren't gainfully employed, we just don't have the time we used to, unless you are allocating vacation time to do this.
Right.
And, I mean, I grew up in a hunting family. I mean, this is what you did in November. I mean, you took time off. My vacation time when I first started in this business was I'm gone the last week of November, because that's what I focused on. It was a time and place for me where I could breathe, where I could just enjoy things. I just don't think people do that anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't, which is unfortunate in regards to that. Hey, real quick, before we get to a break, I have to two things I saw this week, and it has to do with the temperatures, okay? One, I saw my neighbor on one side of the street. He had his golf clubs out, and he was hitting balls in the backyard.
Okay.
I had these when I was a kid, and I don't know what the correct name for them are. We called them fishing plugs. What fishing plugs were, it was basically a weight, or it was something that you would put on, and you'd go out in the yard and you'd cast. You'd practice casting, you'd reel it in, you'd do it with all your poles to make sure. And I saw a dude doing that this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is dedication.
Yeah. I'm like,
his arm hurts from jigging in a hole here for the last 3 months.
I had a flashback when I was like 14.
Oh, that's
Dad's
funny.
like, don't wrap it around the power line, whatever you do.
I think you get one of those. It's a little rubber fish that's got a hole through the mouth or the eye
and it
with
weighs,
the kid's fishing pole.
Yeah, but, I mean, the ones we had, they look like a lure, but there was no hooks or anything on them.
Yeah.
And they were weighted, so it felt the same.
Sure.
And you would just practice casting. Obviously, nobody else on the show did that, but...
That's funny. I did do that when I think it was 2020, the COVID year, when I bought a fly rod. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm going to just go out in the front yard and I'm going to try and figure this thing out before I get to a river. So I felt kind of like a fool just out there just casting.
See, what you should have done is you should have bought one of those small, wags you have to, like water tanks, small ones you feed chickens or whatever.
Yeah.
You could have filled that baby full of water. You could have stood in it. And then you could have just practiced like you're in the river someplace.
Little kiddie pool, yeah, something like that, yeah.
So funny you brought it up. We didn't use the lead weights, but we used the little rubber ones, and they were, kind of bally on the bottom, pyramid shaped. They were pyramid shaped,
exactly.
And they were sharp. But what we did is, so we would start at like 10. So me and my brother, you try to hit him in the back. So you'd cast at him, and if you'd hit him, then you move a little bit further. So you try to cast as hard as you can, and we drill it.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for having me on. TB's great. Watched him as a kid forever and ever. And LePay is actually, I would say I'm a better athlete than Matt LePay, but he's going into the UW Athletic Hall of Fame. So
Well, here's the sad part about this. You and I go back with Matt a long time. You longer than me.
Oh yeah.
So I sent him a congratulations note, and I said 27 years ago is when I started with him. And I thought to myself, my God, where's 27 years gone?
Right.
And you've been working with him directly, indirectly longer than that.
Yeah, since 91. So that's 19 and 25. So yeah, what is that, 44 years, something like that?
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's not 44. No, then I'm really young or I'm really old. It's been a long time.
So here's the thing.
No, Matt's great. Matt's great. And actually, he used to do Ohio State hockey, and it's funny when he tells stories about that, which actually correlate with when I first started doing UW Stevens Point hockey. It was the same thing. I had no idea what the hell I was talking about. So it was fun. It's been great to see his progress and everything he's accomplished and the great causes he partners with, and it's cool. Good for him. I'm very happy for him.
Hey, Brian, it's Erik here.
Hi, Erik.
I've been a long-time listener, and I hear a lot of your sports updates and everything that you do with our station. And I just have to say, there's times when you get chills hearing things, and then there's times where it's like an all-time memory. Calling your daughter's first goal had to just be one of the most amazing moments for you in your broadcasting history.
Well, yeah, it would be number one, Erik.
Yeah.
I've called a few national championships in my day, thankfully, and I've been at Lambeau Field and Camp Randall Stadium and Wrigley Field and Soldier Field and Ford Field and been in a lot of great venues, NHL rinks. But yeah, when Maddie scored against Penn State for her first collegiate goal, that was a thrill, and we were just fortunate we were on television at the time, me and Bill Brophy. And the old Valley Sports Wisconsin, and Piper Shaw was the sideline or off-ice reporter, if you will. And second intermission, Maddie came on, and I didn't know she was going to be the guest. It was awesome. And Piper's now doing really, really well with the Seattle Kraken, and Brof is Brof's down in spring training having fun like I should be. Right. But yeah, that was in my lifetime as a hockey broadcaster, which dates back to 1984. That is number one for sure.
So what you don't know, Erik, is that how old was Maddie when we did that photo for the program? And do you remember?
Oh my
do you
God.
remember that? She was probably 10,
it was,
maybe 11.
Did it for the Wisconsin hockey programs, which they used to sell at the Kohl Center, like they did with basketball programs or at Camp Randall football programs. They don't do that anymore. You have to, get it off your phone. I always liked the handheld tickets and the handheld programs and scorecards. I'm old time, right? So I miss that. But yeah, it was. I actually was in for a couple of years, Tim, if you recall, and I must have 60, 70 copies of all these programs. What am I going to do with them? But I can't throw something away with a picture of my daughter in it. I just can't do it. I have a hard time doing that.
Well,
so, yeah, that was. Yeah.
Erik, I don't know if you ever saw it, but what it said was it alluded to the fact that her dad is the voice of Badger hockey, and this is future Badger Maddie Posick.
That's awesome.
And it came full circle, which is cool if you know the backstory in that.
I got chills hearing you tell that again. That's just so cool. That is so great.
Are you fanboy over there? Or what?
I kind of am. I mean, that's just, we talk about a lot of the memories that we share with our family. And it's like, sometimes it's just a culmination of all of those things coming together. Your entire career that you've worked for and being in that position and then having her play for the team is pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's been playing pro hockey in Sweden, in Stockholm, the last 3 years, and done really well. So think of that. She's playing pro hockey in Stockholm. Seriously,
that's crazy.
That's just what a great experience. Yeah.
My best memory of working with this guy is that, and I don't know if you remember this, but when the Badgers went to the Final Four for the first time under Dick, you and I are in the studio together. And Matt makes the classic call of, I can't believe I'm going to say it, but here it comes. The Badgers are going to the Final Four. And I'll never forget the look in your face. You looked at me and I looked at you, and we went, what the hell just happened? They're going to the Final Four.
It was crazy. And it was so much fun. And it was built off the Rose Bowls the football program had come off of too. And just the excitement overall. And if you recall, too, hockey-wise, that 99-2000 season, that's Danny Heatley and Steve Reinprecht and Jeff Desner and Graham Melanson. And, that was – Reinprecht should have been the Hobie Baker Award winner and didn't win it that year. It was so much fun to watch just how the athletic department has grown from the time I arrived in Madison in April of 91 to where it is now. And I know there's some struggles now, but look what Brett Gard's doing. Look what Kelly Sheffield continues to do. Look what Mark Johnson continues to do. And things are just going to get better, in my opinion, as we move along. And then even the secondary sports, from soccer to tennis to cross-country, track and field, softball, there are a lot of good things to think about when it comes to Wisconsin athletics.
One of the cool things, and getting a chance to be around Brian Butch every day, sometimes it's a treat, sometimes it's a pain in the backside, but that's just Butchie, is the fact that he, like so many former Badgers, give back. Butchie has his camps, and one of the reasons why we had Brian Posick on is because we wanted to talk about the fishing event that Marco Siki puts on every year. You have been part of it, Brian, from the beginning. I know it's a labor of love for you and certainly for Oz. We're hoping to have him on the show before the event coming up in May. But give us a little bit of the backstory on this, where you guys are now, and then how can people take part in it?
Sure. Mark returned to Madison. He had played here, part of the 1990 national championship team, was an assistant coach with Wisconsin's last national championship team in 2006. Went to Ohio State as head coach, came back as an assistant under Tony Granato, and at that time he started this Casting for Kids fishing tournament to support the American Family Children's Hospital and UW Carbone Cancer Center. And it's wonderful, actually. So it's a fishing tournament that's it encompasses all species. It's catch and release. It's on the Madison chain of lakes, so Monona, Mendota, Wabisa, and Kegonsa. And actually, you just go out there and you have a great time, and you try to catch fish, and you record your top 5 fish. You could win a trophy. So then at 6 o'clock that morning, the volunteers arrive. We've got coffee and donuts. We take pictures and all that stuff. But then we're on the lake or lakes at 8 o'clock, and lunch is provided, which is fantastic. And then we'll be back at Alliant Energy Center at 2 o'clock. There's a silent auction, raffle prizes. There's a dinner at 4 o'clock, then a live auction. We've got an auctioneer by the name of Marty Griebentrog, who's a state champion, a national champion auctioneer. He is amazing, and he's worth the price of admission. And so, like during this live auction, we've got guided fishing tours. We have fish and stay packages. There's free beer for a year. We hand out like 4 or 5 of those, which is awesome. People really get fired up for that, as you can imagine. And a lot of sports memorabilia, a lot of hockey jerseys, like the Kachuk brothers, Brady and Matthew. Mm-hmm. They were on that U.S. team during the Four Nations tournament. The Hughes brothers, Quinn, Jack, and Luke. You got Ryan McDonough and Paul Coffey and all kinds of Pittsburgh Penguins, because Ozzie is actually a scout for Pittsburgh. Game day experiences with the Penguins, with the Boston Bruins, Tampa Bay Lightning. There's prints, there's art, there's all kinds of fun stuff in it. And there's also a raffle for an Alumacraft fishing boat. And we've done this the last few years, and you get a fishing boat. And these are expensive pieces of equipment here. And we're providing this, and the proceeds all go to American Family Children's Hospital and the UW Carbone Cancer Center. We've raised over $750,000 the first 6 years, and part of that, one of the years was because of COVID, and another, we're trying to recover to get back on track. But we've got great local sponsors and partners and friends that have helped out. We can always use more, but it is quite an event. So May 17th, Saturday, in Madison at the Alliant Energy Center, we hit the lakes and come on back and have a great time. What's the
website so people can get more information on it?
Sure, castingforkids.org. So casting and then the number 4kids.org. And all of these proceeds go to help the kids that are in the Children's Hospital. There's a young man that's a volunteer for our committee, Kevin Olson, who is a cancer survivor and went through the Children's Hospital, and he's a great story. You think of Tony Granato and Jeff Sauer and others that have dealt with cancer, Robbie Andringa, over the years, that have that Badger connection. And this is a Badger connection event, but it's so much more. It's just a hoot. And so if you'd like to come on out, fish with us, again, Saturday, May 17th, castingforkids.org. Otherwise, you can go to the website, and if you care to donate or be a sponsor, we truly appreciate it as well.
Hey, bud, I appreciate you joining us for a few minutes on a Saturday morning. Real quick before I let you go, I got to close with one hockey question. What did you think of the Four Nations tournament? What'd you think?
I loved it. I loved it. You had Four Nations, and actually, Russia would have fielded a really nice team, but they have been eliminated for the time being from the International Ice Hockey Federation. But I think it's wonderful. It was an outside the box decision by the National Hockey League to make their All-Star Weekend something special, something to remember. And I think we it achieved that with flying colors. Now, there's been talk about what can the NBA do to that. I don't know if they can field teams from various different countries and have the flag that they are waving. I just don't see that would correlate in that regard. Certainly not with Major League Baseball, I don't think. Baseball, it might be more close than the NBA. The NFL, obviously not. So I think it was wonderful. It was fun. It made you want to watch hockey in the middle of February, right?
It did. I thought it was interesting because my belief is that no one takes their sport to heart as serious as the NHL does. You mentioned the Kachucks. I mean, one of us done for the rest of the year because of playing in this thing, you know?
Yeah. So it's, I mean, and Sweden and Finland felt the same way, you know, not just Canada and the United States. And obviously with what's all transpiring in this day and age, there's a little rift between the two countries. So that made it even, there was more pizzazz because of that. But I hopefully they continue to do this. It's an Olympic year next year, so we won't see it next year. But hopefully we see it the year after that. And there's world championships every year, too, that people don't, if you're not a hockey fan, you don't pay attention to because, well, you know, whatever. And I get it. But when it comes to something like this in mid-season, it was exciting to watch. And I know it'll be part of the future here soon.
Hey, my friend, I appreciate you joining us for a few minutes again this morning. I know you're busy. We wish we were listening to you this weekend. So I guess, yeah, you know what? If there is a blessing in disguise, there is a golf course that will be calling your name sometime in the next few days.
I actually, when I was driving down here to Pewaukee, there are a couple of golf courses open. So, I should have brought my clubs. Hey, I will say, castingforkids.org. We're going to have an online auction coming up very soon.
Cool.
Casting4kids.org. And there's all kinds of cool stuff there. And if you're a hockey fan in particular, but if you love to fish, if you like to party and fish, you know, I mean, there's so many different things. Castingforkids.org. Check it out, and we appreciate all your support.
Well, you got my number. Anytime you need a plug, just to reach out, and we'll get you on, okay?
Thanks, Tim.
All right. Sounds good.
Eric,
Brian.
be good. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
Brian Posick, one of these good guys in this business, a guy that my first day that I walked in, he was one of the first guys I met. And just a great, great guy. Bleeds Badger hockey.
Yeah.
Always wanted to be the voice of Badger hockey, and he achieved it. So had some great times together. And I miss not working with him every day as we once did. All right, we need to take a break. Wag stepped out during that segment.
Yep.
He hates fishing. That's why.
Probably. He probably.
Kidding.
It's more frustrating than anything.
Kidding. We'll come back. Wags will rejoin for segment 3 of the program today. Thanks for being out and about with us wherever you're listening. We always appreciate it. You were listening to Tailgate Talk here on The Game. Paul Wagner is with us. As always, Erik Tasker, me, Tim Scott, and again, glad to have you along. This is where we pump the sponsors. And you know what Monday is? Monday is St. Patty's Day.
Yeah. Is it Patty or is it Paddy?
That would be St. Patty's Day. I would say with T's.
Okay.
How would you do it, Wags? With T's or with D's?
I go with D's.
You go with D's, okay.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
then you're going to be in good with the Obunzels folks because I submitted a commercial for them, and just a reminder about the upcoming holiday, and I was scolded because I said Patty. She corrected me. So
good.
That's their
Wagner
thing.
wins
so
one.
Wagner wins one.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I think you're right. I think it is DDY.
Yeah.
I think it's St. Patty's.
So, but either way, as I said, Obunzels has an assortment of goodies. So they've, completely rebranded here for a few days, and you can even just walk right into their deli. In the hot case, they've got corned beef with cabbage, shepherd's pie, and the bakery. They have mint brownies and Bailey's brownies and shamrock cookies. I mean, come on. I was sold on mint brownies.
You're making me green with envy.
Yeah.
I just had to drop that in there.
Yeah. Well, we had to have one of those plugs at some point. But yeah, jump in there. Easy to get to. Just make sure you're ready for it. I feel like this is the one time of year where I overindulge on Reubens because it seems fitting, but it's also just they're good. So
we should give a quick plug too to our buddy Zabe. He and Butchie have got their St. Patrick's Day event. First 97 in the door Monday, Wags, at Dugout 54, 54th and Blue Mound, right?
Yep.
You get a T-shirt. God, green pancakes,
green beer. So you get a sausage. You get your choice of sausage or bacon with green pancakes for $5, and you get $3 green beers until the keg blows. I think they say. So it's it should be a riot.
There'll be plenty of blarney.
Butchie with green pancakes.
Plenty of. Well, and the thing is too, it's Butchie. And it's Zabe, and then it rolls into Armin and Billy.
Right.
So it's 6 hours of, man, you know what? Ride the delay button. That's all I got to say on Monday. Fun starts at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Hey, Wags, last week on the show, you were telling me that you were working out some Bahamian prospect, one of the greatest arms you ever saw.
That's right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah? How'd it go?
No, he's good. No, he's an outfielder. Like, again, I thought he was. That's right. I forgot about that. We thought he was Jamaican. I thought he was Jamaican.
Yeah, you thought he was Jamaican, and then you correct yourself later in the show. He's a Bahamian. I think that's how they say that.
So the kid now has he got signed a nice contract in Mexico right now. He is not with an affiliate. Good center fielder. But this week, we brought in a pitcher that was released from the Anaheim Angels. I had a pitcher from the New York Yankees, and I had another little left-hander, and we just signed him. If you recall, Clayton Andrews. Clayton Andrews was in the Brewer camp in 2023. 2024, he was with the Yankees, and I'm not sure exactly. He's got big league time. I think he was on the 40-man roster for both, and maybe the Brewers didn't put him on the 40-man or not. But anyway, he is coming, so he will be pitching for the Lake Country Dockhounds this year, and hopefully he shows what he did the last couple years, gets right back into affiliate, and I got my fingers crossed. I'd really like to see him leave a Dockhound uniform, drive down the road, hop into Miller Park, and put on a Brewer uniform.
It's interesting. I had a conversation this week with someone that's involved in not your league, but the Northwoods League. And for those who don't know, the Northwoods League is the Chinooks, Madison Mallards, that group. Those are all college kids. And they're talking about the impact, and you've seen this on other sports, in football and basketball primarily, but now the NIL thing is affecting this as well. And the guy, I'm not going to say who it was, but he's a GM of one of the teams in the Northwoods League. He said, Wags, they'll run through maybe 90 players this season because of the NIL thing. And the fact is that, these guys aren't, you know how that league works. They don't really get paid to do this. It's more exposure. Right. It's for them because it's the first in college. For those who don't know, they use aluminum bats. It's a chance for these guys to hone their craft using wood bats. And he said this is how the NIL situation in baseball has trickled down to these guys because these rosters are overturning all the time, which to me is crazy.
Well, that's really interesting to know and hear from him, just because of the fact that prior athletes, what they did is you had to pay because they were afraid. Like just say you say, hey, I'm a pitcher at the University of Florida. Hey, we're going to go into playoffs. You know what? I'm going to stay home for the first couple weeks. Then I'm going to come up to Madison, play for the Mallards. And then you know what? I'm going to leave right when the playoffs start. So now they were charging them, and I believe it was $1,000 for a player to sign a contract to say that they would stay the full year. And as you know, we've got a lot of guys. You've got Madison. We've got the guys that I work with at Festival, Mark Scogan. Remember, you called some of his games before he went to Viterbo.
Back in the day. Thanks for dating
me. And Mark owns a team. Mark owns a team. I worked for him. I worked for him at Festival. All these guys do so much, and now you're looking at it and you're like, gosh, I figured has to be a trickle-down effect where all phases of baseball, especially at the collegiate level, get affected by it, and no surprise here.
Yeah, I heard that this week, Erik, and I went, wow. It just surprised me.
Yeah.
Would you mind, Wags, you were an interim manager. Could you imagine? How do you manage that? Seriously, how do you do with your roster turning over all the time?
Exactly. It's something that you just got to deal with. You just got to not say put your arms up, but you got to play the cards that have been dealt to you, and that's what you have. And unfortunately, it's just what it is. You can't build. I think, and I've heard Butchie talk about this. We've heard about it. We stick with as far as the basketball landscape here because we're going into March Madness with the Badgers and Marquette. And I listen to Shaka talk, listen to Greg talk. It's tough now. You know what? The Badgers lose 3 guys. NIL. What did Hepburn? Hepburn gets stupid money from Louisville. I mean, you can't compete. So it's almost a year to year. I think the development stages of coaching, the Bo Ryans, the Greg Gards, the whatever you want to say, those days are kind of over because you don't know if I teach you something, are you going to be to talk about it, or are you going to complain that you only got 9 minutes off the bench when we're going into the Big Ten tournament and you didn't get enough, so now you leave? So it's a tough call for managers and coaches when the turnover rate can be year to year.
Well, and for you guys, it can be even more frequent than that. You were saying, I remember having this conversation with you last year, I think it was, and it was almost, you put the best team on the field that you can every week, every game, because you never know. Somebody might get called up or somebody might get called out to a different place, and you just kind of work with what you have.
Yeah.
And
then you got to find somebody. But at least,
right.
That's a good point, because if you look at the collegiate sport, they have to enroll in class. So, it's not a great development situation, but you have them for the year. Unless a football player, I think it's 4 games. So if you're not happy with your NIL payment after 4 games, then you can withdraw and still have that year of eligibility. But for us, it'll be like, hey, Tasker, you're starting on Friday. Thursday, the Seattle Mariners call, you leave. I don't have time to find anybody to pitch.
Right.
I mean, it's not, the time for us when we lose players is a lot tougher. So, I'm sad that you only get a guy at the college level for 1 year, but we actually only can have him for a day.
Well, I hope that the Seattle Mariners called me on Thursday next week. And hey, I've got a different story. I don't know if we can just transition back to a little outdoors here.
Do.
Did you see?
Yes.
Did you see this article about the Bay of Green Bay and the Wisconsin DNR that you can earn yourself $100 a fish by catching walleyes in the Bay of Green Bay?
What?
So there's
Well, they got a tag on it? You find a lucky
walleyes that
fish?
have the red Floyd tag. They're called a Floyd tag, I guess, like those tracking marker tags. Yep. For each fish that you catch, it's $100, and you can release it back. You just have to take a picture of the 3-digit. I think they said it was a 3-digit like barcode or serial tag. Yeah, 3-digit tag number, visible, as well as a picture of the angler holding the walleye with the reward tag attached.
So I'm assuming that each fish has a different tag number on it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise some loser's going to catch one of these.
And then
he's going to take
his
a
buddies
picture.
are going to be taking pictures.
They're going to take it off.
Yeah.
And they're going to catch a bunch of walleye, and they're going to walk out with like $6,000 or something stupid.
Yeah.
And then we'll have another story about some bozo in Green Bay that tried to beat the
Like,
system.
hey, that number 78 got caught 17 times.
Yeah,
I mean,
78 got caught a lot.
We talk about it all the time. We got dudes that are trying to shove ball bearings down fish's mouths to win contests.
He's got an extra set of gills now.
Yeah,
He's been
come on.
hooked so many times.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, there's the tailgate talk, guys. They earned $600 catching 2 fish last weekend. Man, so that's interesting.
Wait a minute. We had Mark Zona on. He won $2,500 when he was 10 years old.
10 years old, I know.
So you know what? $100 maybe it's not worth the effort.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see some of that stuff that's happening. I mean, that's kind of a cool thing. I mean, obviously, they don't really, I don't know, this news article didn't really give much for information, but they're trying to figure out, if they can actually track some of those. And there's a whole online reward system that you can submit your pictures and your images to and everything. I mean, they don't really have anything for why they're trying to do it. They're just trying to, I guess, see if they're still out there, but I don't know. It's a cool way if you stumble on one of these fish and it's got a funny red thing hanging off the dorsal fin. Make sure to take a picture.
Let's just say that it seems right now, and I'm not defending anything, so I have to be careful when I wade into the water of politics.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Is that government agencies they're all being questioned about whatever they do. And so, again, maybe I'm wrong in this, but it just seems like maybe it's a manpower issue. And they can't monitor it as much as they once did. So let's get the public involved, because people are going to catch this fish and these fish anyway.
Right.
And just say, hey, here's the deal. We'll put a bounty on it. If you get one, it's $100.
Yeah, I wonder
That's
how many
deal.
there actually are out there.
That's a great question. You know? That's a great question.
Yeah, it's just, you say that. I wonder if it is a manpower thing and there's some sort of study that they're trying to conduct out there. They obviously want the details for some reason, and they have some sort of history with these 3-digit codes that they have. I liken it kind of similar to their trail cam thing that they tried to do, or that they do every year now, where you can actually sign up, let them know where you're posting a trail camera, and then submit your pictures, because they're trying to get some sort of additional information on herd status for different parts of the country or the state.
As we wind down this final segment real quick, and again, I don't have the information in front of me, so I'm hoping that you guys remember. I know, was it last week, 2 weeks ago, we talked about turkey hunting and permits and stuff like that. Have we passed the deadline on those?
We have not.
I thought it was right around the 15th, right?
17th.
17th. Yep. So you've got until Monday.
Yep. So if you got your little yellow postcard in the mail or orange postcard in the mail, you got to buy your regular lottery turkey tags prior to Monday. And then Monday, they break it out into zones for the 5 zones or 7 zones across the state. Monday, zone 1, Tuesday, zone 2, for any additional tags that are unclaimed or unpurchased.
Okay, good knowledge to have. And again, if you go to the DNR website, you'll find all that information there as well. Yeah. All right, Wags, good to know that the girls are okay. And as I said, if you're looking for a vehicle, that Tasker and I, we know a guy. We can help you. Russ Darrow.
Yeah.
He's got like half the staff. We've all bought cars from him, so why not?
Wags will be buying a new truck. He'll be giving his daughters the Silverado.
I don't need.
You let him drive the Silverado, Wags? Probably not.
I don't need help finding the vehicle. I need help finding the money to pay for the vehicle.
Go fish for walleyes.
Well, hey, there you go.
Your butt up to Green Bay, score a few, you got a down payment, or at least you can get started on one, right?